All right, Claiborne County Sports Zone is at Claiborne High School today for the Coach Lee Show. I'm Alan Earl. This is Dalton Lee, coach of the Bulldogs. Not the way you wanted it to go last Friday. Let's talk about the game from your point of view.
Volunteer, we kind of knew on film. You know, they were a pretty solid football team. You know, they had a really good week one. It's not the same Volunteers team that they've seen in years past. They were already making some progress, getting better, but they've exploded onto the scene this year. Have some really good athletes, really good athletes. Offensive and defensive line. They had one kid that was probably about unblockable for many people. Very physical kid. Our kids handled him well as much as they could, but man, they were a good football team. We kept it. I think the score was 13-0 at the end of halftime. We were fighting, hanging in there. Defense was playing good. We had a good defensive game plan. Offense, we were moving the ball a little bit here and there. We weren't able to get to our blocks like we needed to. But no, we played good for about a half, and then we come out. They jumped all over us in the second half. I mean, I absolutely jumped all over us. We were misaligned. First play coming out of halftime, and they run speed option out of the backside, and it's just there was nobody there, and they have speed, and you if you're misaligned against a team like that, they're going to jump all over you. So that's what they did.
Was it anything they did different in the second half, or much of the same? You just didn't get your blocks.
We done a really good job stopping the run in the first half. They tried we've seen on film they had a really good counter play they ran and a fast back. Guards pulled quick, but we stopped them. And the defensive line and linebackers did a phenomenal job. Boxed everything in, stuffed the run. They kept trying in the first half to get the run game going a little bit, but I give Coach West props and all the defensive staff. They done a phenomenal job. Kids were disciplined, but they come out in the second half and they run a speed option, which they hadn't really shown much on film, and then started airing it out after that. And they had a lot more speed than we did.
Okay, I thought the secondary would be a strong point. Did anybody get hurt or?
Yeah, we've been a little short-handed at the beginning of the year. Obviously with Caden Williams out, and Caden Lovin out, but we're getting a little bit healthier. They both got cleared medically, so we're easing them back into the process. They're going to fit right in for us because we've had some kids learn. One was a first-year starter, really first year playing football, playing corner. Caden Vlad's figuring it out a little bit. He's getting good beneficial reps. Got to learn the physical side of the game, but he understands coverage really well. But yeah, we had him fitting in. Fish has been playing corner, so that's a strong side for us there. And then Owen Stone at safety. I mean, he's getting 10 tackles a game, which we're not really happy about.
No,
I'm sure he's elated. But it's we've done pretty good. But we've got to get our two guys that we were going to rotate a lot, like down into the box, like Caden Lovin. He's a good run and pass defender. He's been out. Yeah, we've been a little bit short-handed in that category. So yeah, but definitely looking forward to getting healthy.
What did you see that you really liked during the game?
First half, I mean, I loved the kids' fight. They knew we were right there in the game. It was a talented football team. We were playing right with them. I love to see that. I'm trying to get amnesia with the second half. Don't even want to think about it. We didn't even watch it in film. I don't even want the kids to see it because we don't need to replicate anything like that. But they got down on themselves, started arguing. That's something that has been a real big point of emphasis this week. We're no longer playing for ourselves. We're playing for playing for our school, playing for each teammate. And then yesterday was a good practice to learn that. So
well, you answered probably part of this next question. Mm-hmm. What did you not like?
Yeah, it was definitely the arguing because they know as soon as they start arguing and start disagreeing. A bad alignment turns into, it's your job, it's your fault, and the kids need to understand, they just need to go play. The coaches are putting you in position. We need to communicate better on the field, offensively and defensively, even on special teams. Definitely the arguing. They're very passionate. I've got a very passionate group of upperclassmen, and they know that, and we can't misconstrue our passion for negative energy. I try to tell them, but that's something that we've kind of been a point of emphasis this week. So I'm looking forward to see how they respond in that category.
Okay. Sum the game up overall. What do you think they needed to do a little bit better And is it just blocking right now, or is it much more than that?
It's really just like so. Week 1 against Granger, we never got up to the second level at all. This week or this past week, they done a pretty good job of working to the second level, but at the same time, they were missing like they would leave their assignment to go to the second level, and I was like, don't still do your job first, and then like we'll work our way up. But that's part of zone scheme. They've got the gap scheme down pretty good. The kids. I swear they're like baby ducks sometimes though, because they'll you can draw it up on a board, ask it till you're blue in the face, but as soon as you line some up in front of them, they're like, okay, what do I do again? And then it's just repetition, muscle memory, and communication. That's something on the offensive line that we're trying to work. They've had a good week of practice this week, so we're familiar with the 4-front, which they show some 5-front, here and there, but they communicated a lot better this week. So I'm looking forward to seeing, that pay off.
Oh, we didn't talk about special teams. How did they perform?
Special teams, it was we've moved some kids around because I think week 1, Fish had that one we took back for a touchdown. They called holding. It was a little bit generous of a hold call, but I understand. I see where they were coming from. But we've moved some kids around. It's special teams was okay. We had Aiden go out for a play. Carlos had to come in and punt. Hadn't really worked punting that much. Drop the kick, and then they get a safety. We made sure to like the kids had to understand that we play offense and defense. You may not start on offense and defense, but or you may start on offense and defense, but we also need you on special teams just as much. So they understood that. So we moved some people around, so we should expect better results.
How do you get the team to play better together? I think they don't know how good they could be.
No, they don't. They have no idea how good they can be. And that's what all the coaches are saying. They're like, we could be a really, really good football team if they stop playing for just themselves and play with each other and support each other. Because that's one thing you don't want in a football team or a team, any kind of team, is any kind of people combating each other or questioning somebody else or questioning leadership. That's something that you can't have, because like when they work together, things work great. But as soon as one thing goes wrong, that's when you start seeing their mind go. You start seeing kids arguing here and there, and questioning things they really shouldn't be questioning. Like there was nothing wrong with the game plan; it was the execution part of it. And as long as I always tell them, football is the most beautiful game in the world, or the most beautiful sport, because it takes 11 guys at one time doing the same exact thing, working to the same common goal. And as long as they can do that, we'll be just fine.
All right, you're home against Happy Valley. Give us a preview of that game.
Oh, Happy Valley. They're, I seen them last year when I was at the Gap with Coach Nash. They physical football team. They're a little bit multiple on offense. They run some flex bone. Don't run it like true, triple option. They're a lot of run down your throat, counter here and there. But they'll also jump into power I, and then they'll jump into spread. So it's quite variety. It's been fun game planning for. But I think Coach West has dialed up a good plan. Defensively, they run a 4-2-5. They show a 4-3 look. They run some little stunts and blitzes here and there. Communication's a big key on the offensive line as long as they communicate. But I look for it to be a big physical football game. Try to limit the big plays and try to move the football and, go get a win this week.
How will you attack the defense without giving your plans away?
Yeah.
But just give us a little glimpse of what might happen.
Yeah, they run a 4-2-5. They run it kind of like a 4-4. So they roll those safeties down, play in the flats. So they run a cover 3 defense. Attacking the verticals as much as possible. Trying to get gashes on the offensive line, widen those outside linebackers out a little bit. Those type of things is their game plan. But we're really just going back to our basics. That's like we're dialing up, getting ready for region play here in 2 weeks. We're trying to fine tune our where we're struggling right now. We looked good in the summer. Looked really good in the summer. Had a lot of kids out. We were executing. We're trying to get back to that point. We've added a lot of new stuff in, but we went back to the basics. We're going to hit those and execute at a high level, and hopefully come out Friday with a win.
Defensively, how do you plan to stop the Warriors?
We've got some size on the defensive line, so we're going to play that advantage. Our linebackers, we've got some speed in areas. We've bounced around with some 4-front, 3-front ideas. I think Coach West has done a really good job trying to find the right game plan, put the best kids in the right scenarios, and I think he's done a pretty good job of that. And it's just really, we've pretty much proved to everybody, you're going to have to run the football on us, and like we're not going to give you anything easy, and that's we've stopped the run for the most part. Granger obviously buck sweep. They got outside, but against Volunteer, they tried to run counter sweep ISO, and we were there. I mean, like, and that's that. As long as they understand to play their discipline part, like do your job, don't worry about anybody else's. We'll be fine.
What's key to your team against Happy Valley?
The key this week is to getting a win will be executing our game plan on both sides of the ball. Run the football. If they load the box on us, we need to be able to air it out. It's going to help, with getting kids like Caden Williams back this week. We got a little bit more speed on the outside, so that we'll have that threat. So, throwing a bubble route to him when there's 8 guys in the box could go 80 yards with speed like he has. Certainly helps, to our advantage. But definitely I want to see the kids execute the simple stuff first. And, I want to see them play together. That's the big goal this week.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say about the last game or the upcoming game?
Last game, that first half, the boys fought hard. They showed kind of, what we're about. That second half, we got amnesia. We're not thinking about it. I don't want to, we don't even want to revisit it. They understand. They hung their head about it. But you can't have time in a season to sit there and dwell on half of football. It's time to look up and look forward, look to Happy Valley, and the kids are excited of the opportunity to go play and compete with a good 2A football team. Coach Jarrett's done a great job out there. He's got a good program going, and we're going to come show what we're about.
Anything you want to say to Bulldog Nation?
Keep coming out supporting these kids. They're fighting hard. Last week wasn't their best show, and they understand that. But they're ready. Each and every opportunity we get on Friday night, it's a chance to show what we're about and what these kids do. And they got passion for the game of football, and they're going to love each other and play hard for our community and come support them.
All right, Coach. Thank you, and best of luck Friday.
Thank you.